one of the auspicious ritual activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sanga conference call today. Let us move to our next section, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the class this morning?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Raleigh.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavats Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vadana. Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances unto you and all of the devotees present here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Ekaradika Leela Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Ekaradika Leela Mataji, Dandavats Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees on the call. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji, Dandavats Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, Dandavats Pranam to you and all Vaishnavas, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavats Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavats Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, Dandavats Pranam, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Guru Maharaj Ki Jai, Priti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandavats Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is anybody else would like to introduce themselves? Can we start recording, Mataji, or shall we wait for some time? Mataji is not in call yet. Oh, Mataji is here.
I will start the recording, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Welcoming all of you to the Bhakti Sanga conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Medhavini Sakhi Mataji. Mataji is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, 4th chapter, verse number 21. Before diving into the call, I will hand out the call to Shureshwar Shyam Prabhuji to give a brief introduction of Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please take out the call, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavats Pranam. Brief introduction about Mataji. Her Grace Medhavini Sakhi Devi Dasi is a disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and received Harinam initiation in 2004 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and Brahmanical initiation in Chennai in 2019. Mataji is a chartered accountant by profession and has been working with leading multinational companies. Originally from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, currently staying in Mumbai with her husband, His Grace Harinam Krishna Dasa, and their 2 daughters. They are connected with Radha Giridhari Mandir, Mira Road, Radha Gopinath Mandir, and Jagannath Center, Thane. She serves as a coordinator, hosting and managing Jayapataka Swami Sishya Samuha Mumbai programs and transcripts, proofreading of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami's lectures. Other services during lockdown include conducting daily online Brahma Muhurta Japa sessions, organized an international online quiz challenge based on Srila Prabhupada's Amrita in celebration of Srila Prabhupada's 125th appearance anniversary this year, and takes online classes based on Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much, Mataji. Now I'll hand over the call to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama.
Krishna. Dandavat pranams to all. Am I audible? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So first and foremost, I'd like to thank Shamaguri Mataji for this opportunity. We'll start with Jai Radha Madhava. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijanna Vallabha Girivaradari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijanna Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanajari Yashodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanajari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijanna Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Radha Madhav Radhe Radhe Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Radha Giridhari Radhe Jaya Guru Parampara Jaya Guru Parampara Jaya Guru Parampara Jaya Guru Parampara Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Gurudev Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So there's this nice mridanga and sound that is coming from our society. There's a lot of this celebration on account of this Ram Lalla deity installation in Ayodhya. The last 1 week has been very wonderful. Everyone is talking about Lord Ram, There's a lot of programs in every society where they're having Katha of Lord Ram. So I was just thinking, Srila Prabhupada mentions in one of his lectures, right? When someone is asking, is Ram the Supreme Lord? And some WhatsApp message also was getting circulated. Ishwara Allah, there is no Allah actually in the song, and the song has to be like this, like that. So a lot of discussions about Lord Ram and the pastimes. So I was just thinking that Srila Prabhupada tells in one of his lectures, right? The Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Krishna. Krishna because he's all attractive. And the same Krishna came as Lord Ram. The same Krishna appeared in various incarnations, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, in different forms to serve different purposes. But the Purna Purushottam Bhagavan is Lord Krishna, like that. So I thought we'll start by singing this beautiful song wherein Vasudeva Ghosh actually is describing the same thing. He's saying, Jai Gaur, say Krishna, say Jagannath. The same Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu who came as Lord Sri Krishna is the same as Lord Jagannath, is the same as Lord Ram. So in the song actually describes the various prominent leelas done by the Lord in his various prominent incarnations. So I'd like to quickly share this screen. Am I allowed to share?
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, okay. So we'll just start by singing this beautiful song, Jai Jai Jagannath, Shachira Nandan, Tribhuvane Kurijar Charana Mandan. That means all glories to Jagannath and Shachira Nandan. That means the son of Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Mata, who is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Tribhuvane Kurijar Charana Mandan. All the three worlds are coming at and surrendering at your lotus feet. Today's session is also going to talk about the importance of surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So let's start. Jai Jai Jagannath Chachiranandan Vibhuvani Korijar Charana Vandan. Jai Jai Jagannath Chachiranandan Vibhuvani Korijar Charana Vandan. Neelachali Shankar Chakra Gada Padmadhar Nodiya Nagare Dhanda Kamandalukar. Neelachali Shankar Chakra Gada Padmadhar Nodiya Nagare Dhanda Kamandalukar. Keha bole purabe Ravan badila गोलोकेर वैभव लीला प्रकाश कोरीला केह बोले पुरबे रावण बदिला गोलोकेर वैभव लीला प्रकाश कोरीला जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंदन त्रिभुवनी कोरिजार चरण वंदन श्री राधार भावे बे गौरावतार हरे कृष्णा नाम गौरा कोरिला प्रचार श्री राधार भावे बे गौरा अवतार हरे कृष्णा नाम गौरा कोरिला प्रचार वासुदेव घोष बोले कोरे जोड़ा जय गौर से कृष्णा से जगन्नाथ वासुदेव घोष बोले कोरे जोड़ा जय गौर से कृष्णा से जगन्नाथ जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंदन त्रिभुवने कोरिजार चरण वंदन जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंदन त्रिभुवने कोरिजार चरण वंदन हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Jagannath, Sachidanandan. Vibhuvani Kori Char, Charana Vandan. Jai Jai Jagannath, Sachidanandan. Vibhuvane Kori Char, Charana Vandan. Hare Krishna. So, may I request any devotee wants to read the translation? Can probably raise your hand and you can read the translation of this beautiful song. Anyone would like to read?
Yes,
Yes,
Mother.
all glories to the dear son of Jagannath Mishra and Sakhi Devi. All the three worlds offer prayers onto his lotus feet.
In Nilachal, he holds a conch shell, disc, club, and lotus flower, while in the town of Nadia, he holds a sannyasi staff and water pot.
Hare Krishna. It is said that in olden times, as Lord Ramchandra, he killed the demon Ravana. Then later, as Lord Krishna, he revealed the splendorously opulent pastimes of Golaka. Hare Krishna.
It is he who has come. He has come. Oh, from Braj he has come to Nadia, accepting the mood and luster of Sri Radha. He has come from Braj to Nadia. He has come. Now Lord Govinda, the cowherd boy, has come as Lord Gauranga. He has come distributing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Vasudeva Gosha says, with his folded hands, he who is Gaura he is who is the Krishna. He is who is Jagannatha.
Mataji, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna. Sorry. So Vasudeva Ghosh is saying with folded hands, he who is Gauranga Mahaprabhu, is the same as who is Krishna, who displayed wonderful pastimes in Goloka Vrindavan Dham. And he is the same person who is Jagannath, who comes with Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, and he is the same Lord Ram. That's what is specified here, right? One who actually killed the demon Ravana. So there's no difference between Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, Lord Jagannath, and Lord Gauranga. Right? All of them are Purna Purushottam Bhagavan. Right? While in terms of the rasas, right, we see that how Krishna has the 4 additional qualities which are not even there in the other Vishnu avatars. Right? But apart from that, there is no difference. Prabhupada says Krishna is the Supreme Lord, like the judge who is at home, and the other Vishnu avatars are all the Supreme Lord, like the judges in the High Court. Right? There is no personal rasa that is possible with the other avatars, but Krishna is the Purna Purushottam Bhagavan, like that. And we say Lord Ram is Leela Purushottam, right? Wonderful Leelas. So in this way, we see that with so much of arguments and discussions happening. Who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? But Prabhupada says in one lecture very beautifully, whatever dharma we follow, it is fine. But the dharma, the end of that or the result of that should be that we should develop a love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is what is required. Every dharma or the religion or the process that enables us to reawaken our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a proper dharma. Everything else is not sanctioned by the scriptures, like that he says. All right, so let's move on to our Bhagavatam verse today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanabhaya नमो पंकजमालिने नमो पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये पाहि पाहि महायोगीन् देवदेव जगत्पते नान्यं त्वादभयं पश्ये यत्र मृत्यु परस्परं कृष्ण कृष्ण महाबाहो भक्तानामभयङ्कर त्वमेको धैर्यमानानाम् अपवर्गोऽसि संश्रुते. Hare Krishna. So today we are reading this verse 7.4.21. So Mataji, would you be sharing the screen or should I be sharing the screen?
Whatever is Mataji, I can also share. If you want, you can also share. Shall I share, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. If that's
Okay, okay. Okay, yeah, Mataji, I kept ready.
Okay, fine. So
Yeah.
today we are on Srimad Bhagavatam 7.4.21. Yes, Mataji. Yeah, we can see the screen now, but you can probably maximize the screen. It is very, oh yeah, now it's okay. Okay. So let's read this verse 7.4.21. Tasyogradanda samvignah sarve lokha sapalakah anyatra labda sharanah sharanam yayur achyutam. तस्योग्रदण्ड संविघ्नाः सर्वे लोका सपालकाः अन्यत्रालब्ध शरणाः शरणं ययुरच्युतम्. तस्योग्रदण्ड संविघ्नाः सर्वे लोका सपालकाः अन्यत्रालब्ध शरणाः शरणं ययुरच्युतम्. We see that the word sharanam, sharanaha, several times it's mentioned in this particular verse. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhicharanaravind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Everyone, including the rulers of the various planets, was extremely distressed because of the severe punishment inflicted upon them by Hiranyakashipu. Fearful and disturbed, unable to find any other shelter, they at last surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvalokam maheshwaram suhradam sarvabhutanam nyatva mam shantim richati. The sage who knows me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is actually the best friend of everyone. In a condition of distress or misery, one wants to seek shelter of a well-wishing friend. The well-wishing friend of the perfect order is Lord Sri Krishna. Therefore, all the inhabitants of the various planets, being unable to find any other shelter, were obliged to seek shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Friend. If, from the very beginning, we seek shelter of the Supreme Friend, there will be no cause of danger. It is said that if a dog is swimming in the water and one wants to cross the ocean by catching hold of the dog's tail, certainly he is foolish. Similarly, if in distress one seeks shelter of a demigod, he is foolish, for his efforts will be fruitless. In all circumstances, one should seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then there will be no danger under any circumstances. Wonderful purport that Prabhupada is giving the distinction between demigod worship and who's the Supreme Personality of Godhead and what does it mean by surrender. So we'll discuss these topics in today's session. So let's start with the prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Dushe Namaha Panchatattvaatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupaswarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Angum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanyameshwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So then it pronounced all the devotees. So let's read the translation of this verse. Everyone, including the rulers of the various planets, was extremely distressed because of the severe punishment inflicted upon them by Hiranyakashipu. Fearful and disturbed, unable to find any other shelter, they at last surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. So this chapter is entitled Hiranyakashipu Terrorizes the Universe. The last few verses we've been seeing how Hiranyakashipu was terrorizing all of them, right? Without following the rules and regulations of the scriptures. He was just doing according to whatever his mind was dictating to him. So in this way, we see in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Yaha Shastra Viti Mutsrijya Vartate Kama Karatah. Someone who acts according to the whims and fancies of his own mind without following the injunctions of the scriptures, right? Vartate Kama Karatah, according to his own desires, then Nasa Siddhim Avapnoti, Na Sukham, Na Paramgatim. Right? Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that such a person who acts according to his own whims and fancies, who does not follow the injunctions of the scriptures, will get Nasa Siddhim. He will not get the Siddhi, or he will not get the perfection. Na Sukham. He will not get happiness. Na Paramgatim. He will not get the supreme destination also. So one will not get happiness in this world. One will not get the perfect destination where one wants to go, so that one can be free of all the miseries of this material world. So nothing is possible when one does not follow the scriptures, but one acts according to one's own whims and fancies. So here we see the word specified is Ugradanda. Ugradanda means he was causing so much of fear because of the chastisement, because of the power that he had got. He was, because he wanted to become the Lord of all the worlds. So he was creating so much of fear. Right? And what was happening to the demigods? The demigods were very bewildered. They were very scared by Hiranyakashipu's actions. They ran and took protection from Lord Vishnu. Right? So generally it is always said that in this particular verse it is said that at the last resort they went to Lord Vishnu. Right? Sarvam swasta gatim hi Vishnu. Right? The best protection is always attained at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Right? Of course, it looks like Lord Vishnu is always favoring the demigods. Right? The demigods always go to Krishna whenever they are in trouble, whenever a demon comes up, or whenever somebody performs so many yajnas and is about to reach the 100th yajna, then Indra gets very agitated. Indra feels, oh my God, what is going to happen? I'm no longer going to become no longer going to remain the king of the heavenly planets. He gets very bewildered, and then he sends apsaras to actually to let them not perform the 100th yajna, by which they could become the king of the heavenly planets. It seems like Lord Vishnu is always favoring, although the devatas are sakama bhaktas, right? They are devotees of the Lord, they are administrators of the Lord, But apparently, they seem to be having a lot of desires. They seem to want to enjoy the world. They seem to want to rule the heavenly planets. They seem to be Sakama Bhaktas. But yet, we see that Krishna is always protecting them. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, I am Samoham. I am equal to everyone. Samoham sarvabhuteshu, name dveshu, sinapriyaha. I am not envious of anybody. Nobody is dear to me. And I am, there's no favoritism as far as I am concerned. Astina priyaha. There is nobody who's a favorite to me, or I'm not partial to anyone. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyam. But in the last two lines, he's telling, right, according to the receptivity of the recipient, the person who is more surrendered will receive more mercy. Right, there is a very nice example that Prabhupada gives in one of his lectures. He talks about how the rain falls in all the places. Right, the rain falls in the desert. The rain falls in a place where the soil is fertile. So where the soil is fertile, the same rain which is falling down is able to create a lot of vegetation where the soil is fertile. Similarly, but in the same rain, when it falls on the desert, what happens? It does not create any vegetation. There is no, not even a small plant grows in the desert, right? Although the amount of rainfall is the same throughout. But then Srila Prabhupada explains in this lecture how that is the condition. The rain, which is equal in all the places, represents the Lord's mercy. The Lord is equal to all the living entities. But just like in desert, there is no vegetation. But in a place where which is fertile, where the soil is fertile, there is a lot of vegetation. There is a lot of growth of trees, plants, which bears flowers, fruits, etc. Why? Because the soil is fertile. Similarly, the fertility of the soil represents the receptivity of our heart. How much of the Lord's mercy are we willing, or are we have we made our heart, have we empowered our heart to receive the mercy of the Supreme Lord? Right? Krishna says, Ye yatamam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. As much as you surrender, I will reward accordingly. Right? Krishna is equal to all, but what is the patrata, or what is the position, or what is the receiving power of our heart? What is the patrata of our heart to receive the mercy of the Lord? It is also explained that different people surrender to the Lord for different things. Right? Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturveda bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna. Right? Artho jignashu artharthi jnani cha bharatashabha. Right? So 4 kinds of people surrender to the Lord. One who is distressed, artho, jignashu, one who is inquiring, artharthi, one who is searching for wealth, and jnani, one who knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna himself says, the one who is a jnani is most dear to me, because he understands that I am the Supreme Lord and he has to take my shelter. Well, the other 3 people, the demigods, are also in the first category, right? Artho, that means they are distressed right now, and that is why they have taken shelter of Lord Vishnu. Right? But yet, they are sukritina. They are not duskritino. Next verse, Krishna says, Namam duskritino modha prapadyante naradamha. Right? In the next verse, Krishna says, they are duskritinas because they don't surrender to me. But these 4 kinds of people, they surrender to me. And hence, they are my devotees. They are pious people. Right? So that is why the devatas, although they are sakama bhaktas, they are bhaktas, but they are sakama. They have a lot of desire. But they qualify for the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because although they have material desires, they are surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay? In Srimad Bhagavatam, also it is stated, Akama sarvakamo moksha kama udharadi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Akama sarvakamo. Akama, if we have no desires. Sarvakamo, we have a lot of material desires. Right? That we also, I think we've been discussing the previous time also about the difference between Dhruva Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu. We will just quickly check on that also. Why it is very important, whether we have a lot of desires, whether we have no desire. It is simply to surrender only to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not to the demigods. That is what is highlighted in the purport also by Srila Prabhupada. That even if we have a lot of desires, we should surrender only to the Supreme Lord and not to the Devatas. Why? Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Right? We should worship only the yajeta. Yajeta means worship. Purusham param. Right? Purusha means controller. Right? We have all the demigods are controllers. They control, like Indra controls the heavenly planets. The Varuna controls the rain aspect of it. Agni Devata controls the fire aspect of it. Right? You're all controllers. But Purusham Param, right? Ishvara Parama Krishna, right? So there are many, many controllers. Even we are minute controllers, right? I can control what I want to cook today, where I want to go today, what I want to be doing at this time. Instead of logging into the Zoom, I also have the choice of maybe go for shopping or go for a movie or go for a, watching a match. There's so many things, right? I'm controlling what I will be doing. We are all controllers, right? We are all Ishwaras, minute Ishwaras, right? But then Ishwara Parama Krishna, right? The Ishwara or the controlling capacity keeps increasing the more we surrender to the Lord, right? Ultimately, the gopis and all, they conquer Krishna himself, right? Because of their complete surrender to the Lord, they're able to make Krishna do what they want. So in that way, the loving exchange between the Lord and the devotee is that the Lord becomes completely conquered by that devotee who completely surrenders to the Lord. And the Lord wants to become the servant of such a devotee. The devotee wants to become the servant of the Lord. And in this way, the pleasure of the Lord and the pleasure of the devotee keeps on increasing multiple times like that. So we are all minute Ishwaras, right? And the Devatas are slightly bigger Ishwaras, right? Their ambit of control is much higher than our ambit of control. But Ishwaraha Parama. Here also we are saying Purusham Param, right? So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a supreme controller. He is the controller of the Devatas. He is controller of everybody, right? Not to mention of us living entities, right? We are controlled by the Devatas, but the Devatas are also controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this verse, what we are saying, we should worship only the Supreme Lord in all circumstances, whether we have a lot of desires or whether we have no desire, right? So we were talking about the difference between Dhruv Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu. What was their destination? Right, Hiranyakashipu we saw. We will be seeing in the next couple of verses how the Lord appears as Nrsimhadev and he's going to kill Hiranyakashipu. Right, Hiranyakashipu wants to become eternal. He does not want to die. Right, but he did a lot of austerities, and we saw how Brahma by putting that water on Hiranyakashipu, suddenly became very effulgent, right? He was praying, he was doing so much of austerity. I should become very powerful, and he was doing so much of endeavor. But with the mercy of Brahmadev, when he put that water on Hiranyakashipu, then he acquired all the powers by the mercy of Brahmaji. But yet, although he thought he got all that he wanted, but yet he was defeated by the Supreme Lord. His actual desire to become eternal was not fulfilled by the Lord, right? The Lord identified so many ways by fulfilling all of the conditions of Brahmaji, he actually killed Hiranyakashipu. On the other hand, we have Dhruv Maharaj, who also had a lot of desire, who wanted to have a kingdom which is greater than even Brahmaji, right? So in this way, but what was the difference here? The difference was that he got the association of Narada Muni, right? And Narada Muni actually guided him to chant the names of Lord Krishna, right? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And he also chanted, he also performed so much of austerities by simply chanting the names of Lord Vishnu. And finally, what happened? When Lord Vishnu actually placed his conch on the head of Dhruv Maharaj actually lost all of his material desires. He said, I was looking for broken pieces of glass, but now I've had your darshan, oh Lord. I don't want anything else. And the Lord awarded him what he wanted also. And he also got Krishna Prema. So that is the advantage. Whether or not we have desires, whether we don't have any desires, the advantage is always to worship the Supreme Lord. Why? Because we were just discussing the other day how the relationship between the Lord and his devotee is like that of a parent and a child, whereas the relationship between the demigods and a so-called devotee of the demigod. Right? Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita in several purports that nobody can worship the demigods. We can only enter into a deal with the demigods, or we can do our puja samskara according to the Vedic injunctions, and the demigods have to give what we ask for. If we perform the pujas in the appropriate way according to the shastras, then according to the karma kanda section, right, then the devatas have to give us what we are asking for. But what we are asking for ourselves need not be the best thing for us. So in one of the lectures, I think Prabhupada only was mentioning how the relationship between the devata and the so-called devotee of the devata is like that of a relationship between a child and a shopkeeper. Say a boy or girl, say 10-year-old, is getting 10 rupees pocket money every day. And this child is utilizing that pocket money of 10 rupees to go and buy a chocolate from the shopkeeper. right? Every day he gets 10 rupees. Every day he goes and buys the chocolate from the shopkeeper. So this is the shopkeeper going to tell the boy that, oh, you don't eat chocolate every day. It's not good for your teeth. It's not good for your health. No, the shopkeeper is least interested, right? The shopkeeper is going to give that chocolate as long as he gets his 10 rupees. That is the situation or the position between a demigod and a so-called devotee of the demigod, right? Whatever the devotee prays for, following in the scriptural injunctions, right? Offering certain items at a particular time, chanting certain prayers, and the demigods are obligated to give what we want, but that need not be good for us. That is why what Hiranyakashipu wanted, that was not good for him, but Brahma gave him something close to it, as much as he could afford, or as much as he could bless. He gave everything. And we also have this another Banasura, right? He actually worshipped Lord Shiva. He wanted, he got the boon that whosoever head he will touch, they will go to, they'll be burnt into ashes. And then Shiva granted this boon to Banasura, and Banasura wanted to test it against Lord Shiva only. He started running behind Lord Shiva, and Shiva had to run, and then the Lord had to intervene and come in the form of a, came and, duped Banasura in this way and saved Lord Shiva. So in this way, the demigods are, they are obligated to give certain things, but that may not be good for the person also and for the demigod also. Right? In this way, they even land themselves in trouble, but they are obligated to give if they are worshipped in a particular way, isn't it? But Dhruv Maharaj, what did he do? He prayed to the Supreme Lord. And what happened by such worship? By such worship of praying to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, our heart will get purified. Right? The first effect after chanting the holy names of the Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives in the Shikshashtakam, right? Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahadava Agni Nirvapanam, Shreyaha Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidya Vadu Jivanam, Anandamudivardhanam Pratipadam, Purna Amrita Swadanam, Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. When we chant the glories of the Lord, when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it starts with the purification of the heart, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, until it leads to the bliss of attaining Krishna Prema. The entire journey from Shraddha to Krishna Prema, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivriti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema can all be attained simply by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, simply by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the difference. Whether we have a lot of desires also, just like Dhruv Maharaj got purified of all his material desires, and he simply wanted to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He wanted to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Simply, even now, we have so many material desires. But if we simply Yajeta Purusham Param, if we worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, our desires will be fulfilled. Right? And pure devotees, what do? They go to the extent of asking for more and more suffering. Right? Generally, we are at least saying that if you are put into some suffering, let us not go to demigods, but let us go to the Supreme Lord. But pure devotees of the Lord, what are they asking for? Like Kunti Maharani in Srimad Bhagavatam 1st canto. Kunti Maharani is saying, Vipadam Chantu Tat Shashwat, Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru. Oh Lord, I want more and more and more and more of miseries. Why? Bhavato Darshanam Yatsya Punar Bhava Darshanam. Right? Because when we remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's what Krishna also tells, right? Yam Yam Vapi Smaran Bhava Tyajet Anta Kalevram Tam Tam Eveti Kaunteya Sadatad Bhava Bhavitha Antakale Chamamiva Smaran Muktva Kalevram Ya Prayati Samad Bhavam Yati Natyatra Samshaya. If somebody remembers me at the time of death, then I take them back home, back to Godhead, right? But Kunti Maharani is saying we are able to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead only when difficulties come, right? Generally, it is easier to remember the Lord when we have difficulties. In times of so-called happiness in this world, where happiness is not prevalent, happiness is not found in this world, but still in those conditions where there is lack of suffering, at that time we think that is happiness. In that condition, it is very difficult to surrender to the Lord. So that's why great devotees, they pray for more and more trouble. Right? Whatever be the situation, let me always remember the Lord. Let me always surrender to the Lord. That is the mode of pure devotees of the Lord. And even though we may have a lot of material desires, if we simply pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we will be able to attain that particular state, provided we are sincere in our sadhana, we are determined and we are enthusiastic, and we are performing the sadhana without committing Vaishnava aparadha. Then slowly but surely, we will attain the state of always remembering Krishna and never forgetting Krishna. And Krishna also tells in Bhagavad Gita that it is very difficult to get over the three modes of material nature, but someone who surrenders unto me, right, who worships me, who chants my names, my glories, is able to easily cross beyond it, right? Krishna says, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mami vaishasi satyamte pratijani priyosime. 4 instructions Krishna gives, right? Man mana bhava mad bhakto, become, always think of me, become my devotee, madhyaji, worship me, and mam namaskuru, offer your obeisances to me. And in this way, although it is very difficult to cross over Maya, Daivi Hayeshu Gunamayi, Mama Maya, Duratyaya, very difficult to cross over material existence, but Mameva ye prapadyante, Maya metam tarantite, right? One who surrenders unto me will be able to easily cross beyond the dualities of heat and cold, happiness and distress, etc., and is able to to behave like a dhira, take all the situations as mercy of the Supreme Lord, right? And when a devotee surrenders like this to the Lord, we've seen all the reciprocation from the Lord also, right? So many devotees surrender completely to the Lord, and then the Lord gives protection. We know that we have seen the example of Draupadi. When she completely surrendered to the Lord personally came from Dwaraka, right? The Lord was not even in Hastinapur at that time. The Lord personally came and gave unlimited sari to Draupadi, isn't it? And then you also saw how in the the Gopas, right? When there was Agasura, right? Suddenly a new cave, like a snake in the form of a cave is there in Vrindavan. And the Gopas, they all want to go inside and explore. They don't even think for a minute, oh, what will happen to us? If we get into this cave, this is so totally new. Every day we are coming over here. What is the sudden new cave-like structure here? Agasura. But they were not worried. They said, okay, let us go inside and have fun time. Right? Krishna is there, isn't it? Krishna will take care of us, right? And Krishna did protect them, right? They went inside, they got caught in the belly of that particular snake, Agasura, and then Krishna also entered, and then he pierced the demon's belly, and then everybody came out like that. And then Arjuna, he promised, right? I will kill Jayadratha by end of today, before sunset. Otherwise, I will enter into fire and give up my life. And that day, Arjuna was sleeping very nicely, but Krishna was in total anxiety. Oh, how do I protect Arjuna? So in this way, the Lord reciprocates. The Lord takes more anxiety for the devotee than the devotee himself takes anxiety, because the devotee is completely surrendered to the Lord. The devotee is not really bothered about who will protect me, who will care for me, etc. Because the devotee is completely surrendered to the Lord. Right? Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana paryupasate. These people, they completely surrender to me. And what do? Tesham nityabhiyuktanam yoga kshemam Mahamyaham. I protect whatever they have and I carry whatever they lack. Right? So we are Sanatha. We are not Anatha. Anatha means we need to fend for ourselves. Oh, when will I get my next meal? How will I go ahead? What will I do? Who is there to protect me? Like that. Right? That is the position of an orphan. But we are all devotees of the Lord. We are serving the Lord. Krishna says, Aham bija pradapita. There is nobody who is Anatha. Everybody is under the protection of the Lord. Everybody is Anatha. But unfortunately, we have forgotten our position of being protected by the Lord, of being the family of the Lord. Right? Krishna is the Supreme Father. We are all part of Krishna's family. We are protected by Lord Shri Krishna. But unfortunately, some of us have forgotten our relationship with the Lord. And because of that, what is it? Fear is engulfing us at every point in time. Because we identify ourselves with the body, we are so much uncertain what will happen in the future, and so we get very fearful, right? Govindas Kaviraj Goswami sings, right? Bhajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. Right? What is the quality that we have if we surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The quality that we will develop is that we will become completely fearless. The more we surrender to the Lord, the more we will become fearless of Maya, of all the situations of this material world. Why? Because we know, like Prabhupada mentions in the purport, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvalokam Maheshwaram Suhradam Sarva Bhutanam Nyatva Mam Shanti Mrichati. Right? The Lord is the Supreme CEO. The Lord is the Supreme Master. The Lord is the Supreme Controller. The Lord is the Supreme Enjoyer. The Lord is the Supreme Owner of everything. Right? So what is not within my control is within the control of the Lord, isn't it? The Lord can give complete ultimate protection. There cannot be any situation which is not within the control of the Lord. So if I have that surrender, if I have that faith in the Lord, why do I need to be fearful? Right? So So we all know, theoretically we understand that the Lord is protecting us, right? But when it comes to the actual situation, then we think, oh, why did the Lord not protect me at this time, right? So I just want to give two examples of how the Lord protects, and how the protection of the Lord is not as per our expectation. We cannot expect the Lord that you have to protect me in this way only. And that is why we have this doubt. Oh, is the Lord really protecting me? Because I was expecting a certain kind of protection, and that did not happen. And then I doubt the Lord, right? So I just want to give this example. I think I've narrated this before also, but it is always good to reiterate, to re-understand, or to recollect how the Lord always protects us, right? And Shukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, when he was in the womb of Uttara, that time Ashwatthama releases his Brahmastra, isn't it? And then Uttara rushes to Lord Krishna as he's leaving for Dwaraka. Uttara rushes and comes to Krishna and says that there is some fire in my stomach, right? I feel the sensation that something is burning up. And then Krishna, what did he do? He took the form of Vishnu, a small form of Vishnu with Shankha Chakra, Gada and Padma. He went inside the womb of Uttara, and he actually saved Parikshit Maharaj. And that's why his name became called Parikshit, right? Because the entire life he was examining, right? Pariksha means exam. He was thinking, is this the person who came and who came and protected me in the womb of my mother? Is this the person? Like that, every person whom Parikshit Maharaj was saying, he was saying whether is this the person who protected me? That's why he called Parikshit. So in this way, the protection was given as desired, right? Uttara went and asked Krishna to protect the child in the womb, and the child in the womb was protected by Lord Krishna. So it looks like whatever we expect, that is how Krishna protects. But then what happened later? When Shringi cursed Parikshit Maharaj, isn't it? When Parikshit Maharaj apparently became very thirsty, he put the the snake on the shoulder of this rishi. His son actually curses him, right? Shringi actually curses him that you will die in 7 days. Now we see here that Krishna does not counteract this curse. Krishna does not protect Parikshit Maharaj. Oh, why? It was such a small mistake, and this does not require such a big punishment, right? So in this way, Krishna does not take back the curse, right? So how does Krishna give protection in this case to Parikshit Maharaj? It looks like Krishna has abandoned Parikshit Maharaj, right? From our materialistic eyes, that's what we see. But the Acharyas explain here that Krishna protected Parikshit Maharaj by giving him remembrance, right? Shukadeva Goswami is brought to that particular place in the banks of the Ganges, where Parikshit Maharaj is sitting down, to die for the next 7 days. And Shukadeva Goswami comes there and he tells, right? Everyone else says 7 days is not at all enough, it's too short a time. And Shukadeva Goswami says, right, giving the example of Katuvanga Maharaj, he says that 7 days and 7 nights is too long a time. Easily you will be to attain perfection. And in this way, Shukadeva Goswami enables remembrance of Lord Krishna in the heart of Parikshit as he is giving up his body. And in this way, Krishna is giving protection to Parikshit Maharaj, right? So the protection is always there, but we realize that the protection is there only sometimes. When everything is going as per our way, then we think, oh yeah, Krishna is protecting us. But then when things don't go our way, we doubt the Lord. Oh, why Krishna is not protecting me? But Krishna is having a bigger vision. Krishna is having an overall view of the entire situation. So what is favorable for us, Krishna will do that for us. And that is called surrender. Surrender is not like Prabhupada says, we should not accept parts of the Bhagavad Gita what we like, and parts of the Bhagavad Gita which you don't like, we should not accept. That is not surrender. Surrender means completely surrender to the Lord without any ifs and buts. Ahaituki apratihata. Yayatma suprasidati. Right? Without any conditions, without any interruption, we have to render service to the Lord. That is complete surrender. So we will end here. I just wanted to explain what Prabhupada explains in the most famous verse of Bhagavad Gita. Right? We are talking about Sharanagati. We are talking about surrender. Right? Krishna says in this very famous verse, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja. Krishna says exclusive surrender unto me, not surrender to the demigods and also surrender to Krishna. Right? Idhar bhi udhar bhi. Nahi hota aisa. Right? Does not happen that, because until we remove the anchor, the boat cannot move forward. The boat cannot cross. Boat cannot move from that particular place. It will get stuck there. A person may keep rowing, but the boat is still stuck to the anchor. So the boat will not move. Similarly, Our surrender to the Supreme Lord has to be exclusive, has to be complete. We cannot have one leg, worshipping the demigods, doing all those pujas, and then also worshipping the Supreme Lord. It does not happen. It does not happen like that. Krishna demands exclusive surrender. So this is from Hari Bhakti Vilas, where Prabhupada mentions in the purport about the 6 divisions of surrender. This is also found in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela. So this verse very beautifully describes the 6 divisions of surrender. What is that? Anukulyasya sankalpa. That means we always decide to do or accept whatever is favorable for our devotional service. Anukulyasya sankalpa. Sankalpa means to accept, right? Pratikulyasya varjanam, to reject anything that is unfavorable to devotional service. And that is the second anga of surrender. To do what is prescribed in the Shastras for attaining devotional service, and to reject everything that is not favorable for devotional service. Then Rakshishyati Vishwaso, to be completely believing or complete faith in having in the protection of the Lord. Right? We say Avashya Rakshive Krishna. Krishna will always protect us. There is no situation when Krishna will not protect us. Again, we need to know the definition of protection. Krishna will give protection according to his way, not according to what we think that Krishna has to protect us in this way, right? So in this way, Rakshishyati Vishwaso. Raksha means protection of the Lord. Always being fully confident of Lord Krishna's protection in all situations. Gopatratve Varnam Tata. Right? Like how the gopis completely surrendered to the Lord. Right? We saw the gopas also. How they went into the mouth of Aghasura. Right? Not worrying what will happen. Right? Because I'm completely surrendered to the Lord. Whatever I do for the pleasure of the Lord. And then I am completely dependent on the Lord. The Lord protects me 100% very well. If the Lord protects me in his own way, which is not according to my expectation, that is also the best. Right? That is complete surrender. Right? And that also means not surrendering to anybody else other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not surrendering to demigods, not surrendering to Babas, not surrendering to all of these people, but complete surrender exclusively on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, knowing that only Krishna is my Supreme Master, only Krishna is my Supreme Maintainer. Krishna will protect me in all circumstances. Then Atma Nikshepa means complete surrender. Right? That means one is not independent at all. Right? One wants to give this free will to Krishna. Right? Krishna, I don't want to take any decision that is against your desire. If your desire is that I should do like this, let me do like this. If your desire is that I should not do that, let me not do. Right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya Chaham Hrithi Sannivishto Matha Smritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Vedeshu Sarve Rahameva Vedyo Vedanta Krit Vedavi Devachaham. Sarvasya Chaham Hrithi Sannivishto. I am there in everybody's heart. So if our desire is to always please the Lord, then Krishna will guide us. What we should do so that we can please him. Right? In that way, he will give us remembrance. Matha Smritir Jnanam Apohanam. He will give us the knowledge. He will give us the remembrance. He will give us the necessary forgetfulness. That we forget our sense gratification and we remember our service attitude to the Lord, and then we do what will please Lord Sri Krishna. Right? Atma Nikshepa. That is self-surrender. Complete surrenderance. I will do whatever pleases Lord. I will not do anything that might displease Lord. And that we will get to know because Krishna is not in front of us. How will we get to know? According to our desire to serve Krishna, according to the level of our surrender to Krishna, Krishna will reveal it either directly or through his representatives, through the bona fide gurus. So in this way, our Shiksha gurus, our Diksha guru, through them, Krishna will reveal his desire to us. And then we can perform what pleases the Lord. And we don't perform what does not please the Lord. Finally, Karpanye. Right? Karpanye means a devotee is meek and humble. Right? Trinadapi shunichena taroriva sahishna amanena manadina kirtaniya sadahri. Right? The devotional service that we are so eager to perform for the pleasure of the Lord can be performed, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, only when develops the qualities of Trinadapi shunichena taroriva sahishna. One is more humble than a blade of grass. One is more tolerant than a tree, offering all respects to others, not expecting any respect in return. In such a situation, Kirtaniya Sadahari is possible. Right? So I just want to end the session. I think we have about 5 minutes, and then we'll take questions for about 5 minutes again. So here, I just want to narrate a pastime with Srila Prabhupada with his disciples. Right? Actually, Srila Prabhupada was having a conversation with his disciples. And then what happened? the disciples were asking Prabhupada, we are following, the four regulative principles. We are engaged in devotional service. So is there a way, is there at some point in time we may even fall down from devotional service? And then Prabhupada said, yes, there is always a chance that you might fall down, but I can never fall down. And that is the difference between you and me. And then the disciples said, oh, okay. So there is a chance of fall down, very careful. And then later on they went for darshan. And then Srila Prabhupada is intently looking at the deities and praying very fervently. And tears are streaming down from Prabhupada's eyes. And then the disciples, after Prabhupada had the darshan, and then when he came out, the devotees asked Prabhupada, what were you so fervently praying to the Lord? And then Prabhupada said, I was praying to the Lord that I never become illusioned by Maya, that I always be surrendered at the lotus feet of Krishna. And then the disciples told Prabhupada, but Prabhupada, you only told us that, that is the difference between you and us, that you will never fall down, and there are chances that we may fall down. And then Prabhupada said, yes, why I was so confident that I will never fall down? Because every day I pray to their lordships that I never fall down for the allurements of Maya, that I never get illusion. So this is the prayer of a pure devotee of the Lord, right? Who created 108 temples at the age of 70, who went to cross the ocean, who created, so many, who actually took Vrindavan Dham to the Western world, who made so many devotees, right? Who is actually mentioned in the scriptures as the Senapati Bhakta, isn't it? Prabhupada was the Senapati Bhakta, to whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had left his task of preaching Krishna consciousness to people in the West. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself preached only in India, right? Vrindavan, and he went to South India, Jagannath Puri, Vrindavan. So within India, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached, and then he said, Nagaradi Grama Sarvatra Hoibe Prachar Mora Nama. One Senapati Bhakta will come and he will go and preach the message of Krishna in the Western world, in all the other places, throughout the universe, right? And that Senapati Bhakta, Prabhupada, is praying in the mode of complete helplessness. Oh Krishna, what will I do? Right? I'm surrendering to you completely. I pray to you fervently that may I never fall down from the path of bhakti. So this is the level of surrenderance of our Srila Prabhupada, who is our eternal Siksha Guru, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. So how much fearful we all have to be. At least I can talk for myself, right? If we have to become fearless soldiers in our fight with Maya, if we have to become fearless soldiers in the army of Srila Prabhupada, if we have to become fearless from the three modes of material nature, then we have to everyday pray to Guru and Gauranga, that may we never fall down. And for that, we have a very clear formula, right? We have to simply follow the instructions given by our Gurus and follow the four regulative principles, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, follow ABCD square formula. The association of devotees, hear Bhagavatam, speak Bhagavatam like we are doing right now, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then have only the diet of Krishna Prasadam, and then E, right? A, B, C, D, E. I was hearing His Grace Radhesham Prabhu. He was saying A, B, C, D, E. What is E? Always engage in devotional service, right? At every opportunity, engage in devotional service to the Lord, according to the instructions of Guru. And in this way, we can always be surrendered to the Lord. And then as the Lord says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. Whatever deficiencies we have, it will all be taken away by the Lord. And then whatever is needed for us to attain Krishna Prema, Krishna will provide us with that. So we will stop here. I thank you all for your patient hearing. Are there any queries or any realizations that devotees want to share? We can take them now. Thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Thank you so much for wonderful class, Mataji. The key point in Krishna consciousness is to have faith and surrender to Krishna, Mataji. You enlightened so well. And thank you for sharing the Prabhupada prayer also, Mataji. Thank you so much. If anybody have any questions or realizations, if you'd like to share, please unmute yourself and please go ahead.
We have time? 6:50.
Yeah, we have, Mataji. If you have 5 minutes now, Mataji.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Mataji, for enlightening us today. Mataji, one question I had, do the Devi Devatas change our karma, or they offer results? What is there in our karma only, Mataji?
They offer the results of what is there according to whatever worship we've done, whatever we are supposed to get. They just offer that. They cannot change our karma.
Oh.
They don't change our karma.
So basically, means do they give results which are supposed to come later faster, or at least they will help in that way, Mataji?
Yeah. So see, if say for example, I am praying to the devatas for some result, right? But I have to do the performance of the way whatever is given in the karma kanda section exactly, right? Like we have this prayer where the devatas are actually praying for a person whom they will kill. And then what happens? Vritrasura comes because of the wrong utterance of the mantra. The opposite effect takes place, right? So when we worshipping the devatas, like for example, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when we are chanting, sometimes we doze off. Sometimes people cannot pronounce R. They say Krishna, Krishna. Sometimes people aren't, and Valmiki, like we saw, cannot pronounce Rama. He said Mara, 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 and became Rama. So when we chant the names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kala. Right? Even if there is no proper pronunciation is not there, all that is fine because the intention is to attain love of Godhead. That's why we are chanting Hare Krishna Mantra. But when we are chanting these prayers for the devatas, in case there is any mistake in the pronunciation, or in case of any mistake in offering the oblations, or in terms of purity of the substance, etc., what happens? We may not get the result. Right? And most of the times in Kali Yuga, like Prabhupada says, there are no pure ingredients. What will we offer to the Lord? Right? What will we offer to the devatas also? Right? So in this way, in Kali Yuga per se, right, we will not be able to perform the Vedic rituals also to the T. So there is no chance of getting our desires fulfilled by worshipping the devatas. Even if we perform it so perfectly, somehow or the other, we are able to perform it so perfectly, then we will get our desire. But it is only temporary. It may just come and then it may just go away. Right? But the devatas are under an obligation that if you ask, say for 1 million rupees, I want 1 million rupees, and I pray exactly, and the devatas are very satisfied with it, we may get our 1 million, but probably somebody may steal it the next day itself, it may go away. Right? So if it is entitled, because everything is sanctioned by the Lord only, right? Like how Brahma promised to Hiranyakashipu also that you will not die in the air, you will not die in the water, you will not die outside the house, inside the house. Vishnu came and fulfilled all the conditions of Brahma, but yet killed Hiranyakashipu. So like that, the demigods may offer everything, all our benedictions, but the Lord has a way. If you're not entitled to get it, then we will lose it immediately. So like that. So that is it. That is it.
Thank you.
I hope that clarifies.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes,
Thank you,
Prahladananda Prabhu.
Then Pranam Mataji, I just wanted to add little realization in that this connection about the demigods, whether they can change our karma or not. In the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma himself says that Yasvindra Gopam Atvindra Mahu Swakarma Bandhanur Fulvaj Matnoti Karmani Nirdhati Kintuj Bhakti Bhajam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajam. In this particular sloka, it looks like that Indra, up to Indra go, that's a small insect. Everybody themselves, the demigods themselves are under the law of karma. So how can they change somebody else's karma? That was I was thinking in those terms. So Supreme Lord is the maker of the law of karma, and that's how he is the only exclusive authority who can change our karma. No one else. That's what is my understanding. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak, Madhavi.
Very beautiful, Prabhu. Thank you for that. Yes.
Thank you so much, Prahladanand Prabhu, for sharing your realization. Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, Nilanjani Mataji, want to ask anything?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
I have a question. If we are struggling, it's our own karma, or sometimes it's going to our parents also like that.
Yeah. So actually, it is a collective. It is collective. We are in a particular family because of our past desires and activities, right? So like Prabhupada mentions that if we are very Brahminical, if we follow the regulative principles, yet we are not we follow devotional service also, but we are not able to perfect our life. Then we get born in Vaishnava families, where we can start our bhakti, right? Prabhupada says, and Prabhupada Lilamrita says, when I used to get up in the morning, I used to hear the ding, 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 like that sound. When he says, myself and my spiritual master, we were blessed to be born in a Vaishnava family. So the family that we are born into are all determined by our past desires and activities, right? Because we continue with our desires, whatever we wanted to attain but we could not, that is what we continue to pursue in our life until we get the association of a devotee who teaches us about this bhakti, this process of bhakti, and then we start performing a karma. Until such time, we get the reactions for various actions, right? Vikarma and karma. According to that, the reactions, we get a particular type of body, we get a particular family, everything is a result of our karma and our desires. But when we become a devotee, after that, Krishna takes personal charge of our lives. When we perform a karma, then we don't get, we don't have to go into the womb of another mother. We perfect our lives and continue to perform a karma only. Is that okay, Mataji?
Okay, ma'am. If parents have one property, it's automatically become to their children's, no?
Yes. Yes. So, yeah. So the responsibility is there, right? They say, "Na guru na sashyad, na janani na sashyad," right? One should not become a father or a mother or a guru or a teacher if one is not able to deliver one, right? And the karma is individual also, and the concept of karma is very intricate, is very, very complex. We will not be able to understand or explain it. At least I am not able to explain or understand it. It's very because there is kutam, bijam, papam, we don't know how much of it is in which stage, when it will fructify. Very, very intricate. But yeah, it's quite complex. But yet, the Lord has a way, and according to the will of the Lord, everything happens, right? But generally, for people who are in a particular family, generally, the karmas are interconnected, right? The husband and wife, it is said that whatever devotional service the husband performs, wife gets a certain credits of it, like that. So yeah, to an extent it is interconnected, but each one has to fly their own airplane. That's what they say. So yeah, quite complex. Yeah, I hope that helps.
Thank you, ma'am. Wonderful.
Hare Krishna. Yes, MM. I don't know who's this MM.
This is Manmohan Mataji, Bhakta Manmohan, Bhakta Manmohan from India, Mataji. Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Mataji. Mataji,
Yes, Prabhu,
thanks for such an enlightening class. Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Mataji, I just have one question, because since generations we have been praying to demigods, and since after coming to ISKCON, we tend to like in the every day in the morning we have a deity room wherein Kaliji and Hanumanji and all other deities are there also. So we go there for praying, and we actually have to bow to them also, like we bow. But since whenever I pray to them, I ask for Krishna prem and Krishna bhakti only. So is it okay for if we bow down to them, if we pay our obeisances to them, and then while praying to them we ask for the bhakti of Krishna, the Supreme Lord only? So now how do you take this? How do we is it the to do it, or is there
Correct. So
anything
that
else?
is the perfect way, right? We understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all of these demigods are administrators of the Supreme Lord, right? It's just like a teacher is teaching a class, right? The best student of the class will be the monitor of the class, right? So she will collect the notebooks and do the work of the teacher, right? So we should not disrespect the demigods, because we know that they have pleased the Lord. That is the reason they are administrators of the Lord. They've been empowered by the Lord to do certain functions for the purpose of the Lord. But kamestasya hritajnana prapadyate anya devata, right? If we have material desires, then we worship the demigod. That's what we've been doing maybe across lifetimes, right? But by the mercy of a devotee, we now understand the position of Lord Krishna. We understand the position of demigods. At the same time, Prabhupada always says we should not disrespect the demigods. Right? Brahma is a demigod, but Brahma has actually given us the Brahma Samhita, which helps us understand what is the position of Maya Devi, what is the position of Ganesha, what is the position of Nrsimhadev, right? What is the position of Krishna, right? Every paragraph he says, Govinda Madi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. So in this way, the demigods, if we are sincere in not wanting material desires, then the demigods actually help us attain the Supreme Lord, right? There is one pastime wherein there is a devotee of Lord Shiva, right? He prays so much to Lord Shiva, but he asks Lord Shiva, give me what is the best, right? So Lord Shiva, what does he do? He directs him to go to Sanatana Goswami. And then when he goes to Sanatana Goswami, he goes and asks Sanatana Goswami that Lord Shiva has sent me to you. Give me what you have the best. And then what does he get? He tells him there is a touchstone that is there outside. He's a very poor Brahmana. There is a touchstone which is there in the garbage can outside. And he tells, okay, you pick it up and go. And then this Brahmana is so happy to get the touchstone because he's so poor. He immediately gets touchstone. He runs away. Right now, everything that I touch with this, it's going to become gold. I don't have to work. I'm getting so much wealth. He runs. And then what happens? Right? Because he's prayed to the Lord that to give him the best of what he has to acquire. Somehow, by the grace of the Lord, by the grace of Lord Shiva, by the grace of the Lord, he is able to think that if this is the best, why did he put it in the garbage can outside his home? And then he goes back to Sanatana Goswami. He asks this question, that if this is the touchstone is the best thing that you have, why was it in the garbage? And then Sanatana Goswami says, you first throw that touchstone out in the ocean and then you come back. I have something better, then I will give you. And then he throws that touchstone away and then he comes back and then Sanatana Goswami gives him the holy name. Right? So in this way, if we are sincere, even when we pray to the Devatas will guide us. But if we have entered into a deal that I give you this, you give me material prosperity, then they will not guide us, right? Even Krishna says, right? My yoga maya will put a curtain by which, even though we hear the same classes, we are not able to comprehend and understand. Because of that, yoga maya samavrata, Krishna says. So in that way, yes, we should offer respect to demigods, while to understand the position of the demigods as the administrator of the Supreme Lord, knowing well that the demigods also operate under the controllership, under the jurisdiction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. I got the answer. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, I think, should we stop here, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. I think nobody have any further questions, Mataji. Thank you so much for your enlightening class, Mataji. It's so powerful. Thank you. Yeah.
Prabhupada ki.
Let us pay obeisances to Mataji and all the devotees. Vancha kalpataru Medhavini Sakhi Mataji ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.
Gauranga, Nityananda, Gauranga,
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe
Radhe. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining today's class. We'll meet again tomorrow. Hari Bol.